So we're going to talk about the problem with spray foam insulation and mortgage issues, or mortgage issues that some people have had. Now there's a lot out there that says that if you've got spray foam insulation installed within your home, then you will get a zero value from a surveyor. Although that is true in some cases, it's not always the case. I mean, open cell spray foam insulation and closed cell spray foam insulation are both different materials completely. One set's hard, really rigid, difficult to get off. That's closed cell. The other, open cell, is soft, flexible, breathable and easy to remove. Most of the confusion in the past comes from closed cell. Roofers have got a really big problem with closed cell because in the past closed cell has been sprayed directly to the underside of a roof, and when a roofer comes to strip this roof, it's nigh on impossible to strip it. You can't strip it without smashing all the tiles off, so you can't reclaim any of your slates. Everything's just got to be smashed off. You can't even replace slates. And what they're finding as well is they're finding a lot of rot underneath there. So the natural presumption is that spray foam insulation causes rot. Now, closed cell, although not breathable, and it won't allow moisture vapor diffusion, and it can trap moisture between the tiles and the foam itself, the rot that they're finding majority of the time is already there because the roof's got no felt on it. It's an old roof, tiles are slipping, and somebody's looking for a quick solution to repair the roof without taking the roof off and having the roof replaced. So they're spraying this closed cell, or they were spraying this closed cell spray foam insulation directly to the back of the slates. So it appears that it's caused the rot, but I would say in 90% of the cases that rot was already there. Now, open cell foam, especially Icynene open cell foam that we use, which is now owned by Huntsman Building Solutions, is a breathable foam, and it should be applied to a roof felt. You don't apply it direct to the tiles. It allows moisture vapor diffusion and it allows materials to continue to breathe. Now, it's BBA approved and it's used in new builds all the time. So we do countless new builds and we're spraying it in between the rafters, and then it's getting boarded over. Majority of the time these days it's a replacement for PIR board or Kingspan, Celotex, whatever you want to call it. And it goes through building control. We do a U-value calculation, condensation risk analysis. Architects look at it. Generally we achieve a certain U value. Depending on the U value, depends on the thickness of the foam and the overboard, and then a plasterboard goes over the top. It's a vaulted ceiling, it's hidden. Those builds are never a problem with mortgages because the surveyor doesn't see it. So it's not the product, it's what the surveyor sees and what the surveyor thinks. So any vaulted ceiling, you don't know what's behind there. Could have nothing behind there, but a surveyor will just value it as normal. But if he sees spray foam, puts his head in a residential house loft and sees spray foam, a lot of the time he'll just say spray foam, no go. They won't do any moisture checks. They won't look at the consistency of the foam and see if it's a soft open cell. They won't ask the client if they've got a warranty for it, what product it was, who it was installed by. Now, it's something that the industry, manufacturers, the National Insulation Association, they're all working on this at the moment to eradicate this issue. But it is a limited issue. We've had it 3 times in 7 years that it's been raised, and on all 3 occasions we've shown the product, who installed it, the BBA certificate, the warranty, and it's gone through without a problem. But there's still a lot of bad press out there about it. Now, to outlaw a product without looking at it, you know, it's down to surveyors. Like I say, it's surveyors that don't know what they're looking at. They're just making presumptions. If they don't see it, it's fine. If they do see it, they just make a presumption and just say it's zero value. Now, we are aware of it. Everybody within the industry is aware of it. But it's something that has been addressed, and it shouldn't put you off making your home more energy efficient. You know, you need to, if you're having spray foam insulation installed, you need to limit the probability of coming across any problems. And the way to do that is by using an authorised product that's BBA approved, an authorised contractor who's trained by the manufacturer, and one that's going to give you the warranties that you need. And those, when you come to sell the house or release equity on it, they should all be presented. At any decent company like ourselves, if the limited 3 times we have had clients bring it up as an issue, we will help them as much as we can, provide a letter stating what foam was in there, the moisture content of the timbers before we applied it, and if need be, we can come out and test the moisture content, look at the relative humidity within the loft, and do an assessment for you to provide. So it shouldn't be something that deters you from using spray foam insulation, especially not with the rising energy costs now. It's just ridiculous. And with the industry working on it, you know, you can never say for definite, but there's too many contractors. The product doesn't cause the issues that people think it does. So it will be rectified. When? We don't know exactly, but it has been worked on very hard in the background of the industry, and eventually it will just become a thing of the past. So, you know, if you're not thinking of selling your property anyway, or releasing any equity on it in the next month or so, then you're on I would say you're on a safe bet to not be concerned for you. And the other one, we use it for suspended timber floors. Now, it makes a huge difference on suspended timber floors. Energy saving trust will tell you 15% energy savings, but that's not accounting for the drafts that occur, because you get the drafts under the expansion gaps, underneath the skirting board, and open cell spray foam will eradicate all of those drafts, give you a warmer floor to walk on, and if you keep the air bricks free and allow that subfloor to ventilate, then you're not going to have any issues at all. And you will never have an issue with a surveyor and underfloor insulation, because again, a surveyor doesn't look under the floor, so he doesn't see it, so he doesn't know. So it's kind of a bizarre scenario that if they see it, they just instantly say, but if they don't see it, everything's fine. There's too many people that are not embracing change and not realising the quality of the products that are out there. You know, these energy savings now, energy rises now are just going through the roof, and every little bit that you can do to make your home more energy efficient is a bonus, regardless of what some people think. Do your research. I mean, you've only got to look at what the products are used in, you know, the different types of buildings, and you know, heritage houses, you know, all types of buildings. As long as it's installed correctly, your U-value calculation and condensation risk analysis are done, then you know you're going to limit any risks. You know, Kingspan's rigid PIR it's not without risks. You know, you get a leak in a roof with a PIR board, it's just going to track down the back of the board. You never know where that leak is. At least open cell foam will allow water to drain through it, so you can identify the area of a leak. There's no more risk to using a Kingspan panel or a PIR. I don't like to keep using the specific brand name, as there is with open cell spray foam insulation. We've covered numerous, hundreds of new build projects, from multi-million-pound houses to small single-story extensions and lean-tos. Do your own research, by all means. But if you've got any questions, you want to know more about it, you've got concerns, come to us. We'll always advise you the best we can. We're never going to push you into a decision, but we want to make sure that people have got the right facts and that aren't making decisions about making their home more energy efficient on misinformation and badly educated people that don't know what they're talking about.